Hello guys, and welcome back to the 9.0 test server. Yesterday I recorded the first video for 9.0 test, which included changes to the garage and hangar. And today this video is going to include gameplay, actual footage. So I'll go ahead and jump into a battle here, first with my T-54. Wow. And typical test server matchmaking. And as you can see, my ping here is not too bad for a test server. On the live server it's usually around 30, but I think that's probably normal for the test. The nice change though is that there's no packet loss here, none whatsoever. And I can hardly ever have a game on the live server where I don't get packet loss, so that's a nice improvement. I'm hoping that will carry over for when 9.0 goes live. I'm hoping the US East server that I play on will lose that packet loss problem, but we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over some bumpy terrain here, watch the tracks as I go over it. You can see the wheels on the tracks acting independently and reacting to bumpiness in the road individually there. You see the track bend, the wheels straighten up as they get back to flat ground. So that's really cool. I imagine once they add havoc and get physics on the objects attached to the tank itself, it's going to look pretty damn cool. Stuck in the building there. Not quite used to playing with 130 ping. And the detail on this tank, I'm just admiring it again. On the HD model, it really does look spectacular. And I think the effects for shooting and such have been changed as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just shoot a building here. I'm pretty sure they've reworked the smoke effects, and they have reworked the fire effects, flame that comes out of the gun barrel. And again, if your tank is destroyed and caught on fire, the flame looks a lot better. There we go. I'm trying to die there so I could show that to you, because there's really nothing else new. But you can see here that the flame coming out of the tank looks a lot... I wouldn't say realistic, because I don't think it's quite the right color. But it looks a lot more impressive than what they had before. And it looks like it's actually died down as a fire dies out, which is kind of neat. I still haven't been able to see a tank at ammo racks, so I haven't seen any turrets falling off yet. Hopefully we'll catch that. And I don't know if you can tell or not, it's It's not a huge change, but they have updated the shaders on the terrain, so the terrain does look a little bit better than usual. But it's a pretty minor change. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find anybody getting ammo racked, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump out of the battle and go ahead and jump in the Tiger 1. Not gonna worry about that stuff. And you can tell here that even though it's still not in HD like the Tiger 1, but the RHM, the Borsig TD, you can tell they've reworked it. The finish on it looks a lot more worn. You see a lot more brown. They've supposedly reworked 150 of the tanks in that way, to where they have updated them for the new shading effects, or the shaders that they're using in 9.0, but they're still not in HD. Currently, the only three that are in HD are the Tiger 1, the Sherman M4, and the T-54 Russian Medium. Alright, so one cool thing on the Tiger 1, and I don't know if it's for all German tanks, but I know at least the German heavy line. When you zoom in, you get a really cool looking green tint, and I think a lot of people are going to decide whether or not they like it just on personal preference, but other than the fact that I think it looks cool, it does, for me at least, make it a little bit easier to see tanks with a green tint. It mutes colors that are far away from green on the spectrum, such as gray, which is the color of most of the tanks, brown also. So they do tend to stick out a little bit more for me. It might not be the same for you guys, you know, everybody has different tastes, what they like, but I think it's kind of neat. But like I said, I've only noticed it with German heavies. I don't know if it carries over to other German classes of tanks. I don't know if it occurs for other lines, other nations. I played the STB, the Tiger 1, the T-54, and the E-75, and so far it's only worked on the two German tanks that I played, so I guess it's going to be a nation-specific thing, which is fine by me. I play a lot of German tanks anyway, so it's kind of cool. Oh, how did that bounce that guy? Also, they've completely redone the tank wrecks, so you can see from this FCM that died in front of me, it's a lot more detailed even after it's been destroyed than what it was in 8.11. And I believe they reworked the tracks also for when they get destroyed. So when your tank's completely destroyed or your tank gets tracked while it's still alive, it'll look a little bit different from what it did in 8.11. It'll still be easy to, as easy to detect whether or not a tank's been tracked, but it looks a little bit more realistic, I think. Alright, so something back there is spotting me. Not sure what, because nobody on my team's going middle. So I guess I'll just help push town. Right, see this guy. Try and get around the corner here. Yeah, see that fire on that SU next to me looks really cool, I think. Oh, really? What a bad roll. Yeah, especially at distance, the green tent on the zoom makes it really nice to see people. And in case you're wondering why the enemy icons are purple, it's not a mod, it's just colorblind mode in case you've never turned that on before. No, I'm not colorblind, I just prefer purple over red. Oof. Oh, Tiger 2, alright. So this is actually my first time, well, it's like my third game with it, but it's the first time I've had a Tiger 1. I actually don't own one on the live server, don't even have it unlocked. So I'm new to the tank, but so far it's been pretty fun to drive. It lacks a little bit of armor, but it does have a lot of HP, and the gun on it is pretty phenomenal. Okay, so you can see the new notification center is what they're calling it here. I think these look a lot, no question these look cooler than the vanilla messages in 8.11. Oh, we won that game. Nice. One thing though is there's no minimize tab up here for it, or an exit out of it tab, or button rather. So you have to come back down here and click it again to get rid of it. Or click outside the box. I guess that'll work too. Alright, so let's see, I'll go ahead and place some high tiers so maybe we can get an ammo rack. I'll go ahead and jump in my Leopard, see if the green scope shadow tent for sniper mode will carry over. And I'm hoping with all the 183s and Yagzillas that somebody will get an ammo rack, so we'll have to wait and see. Other teams got one tank that's speedy, so I'm going to go ahead and go south and try and take that hill. I think it should be pretty simple to do. T-57s theoretically might be able to get down there if they got a really good spawn, but they'd be late even if they did, so I should be able to kill the 140 if he goes there before anybody else gets up there. Okay, so no, there's no scope shadow on the German medium. So it's only working on the German heavies from what I can tell so far. Which is a shame, I kind of wanted it on my Leopard, but they might add more later, I'm not sure. Oh wow, this look at the sun rays coming past the trees there. This map looks a lot better than it did in 8.11, they've changed it. Okay. Make sure those heavies aren't gonna shoot at me. Now if this guy was intelligent, he'd turn around and start hitting me. But I don't know what he's doing. Come on, come around. 0 damage into his track with APCR too. It's just annoying. He's gonna shoot at me, of course. I guess I would probably too. Or maybe I'd probably try and track the IS-7 so he couldn't get around to me, but that's just me. Okay, wow, they really changed this side of the map. I can't tell if they actually change the elevation of the terrain, or they just change the colors and the textures, or both, but either way it looks a lot better. It's a lot easier to see things down there. And that sunlight looks really, really cool, especially coming through the trees when I was driving up here, the light shafts here. Wow. That's all post-processing, I believe. But that looks really good. That's cool. And you can see that I'm running at a pretty constant 80 to 90 and up frames per second. My video card is a GTX 690. If you want to see my full rig specifications, are in the description for the YouTube channel. But I've got a pretty good machine, so I usually don't have any trouble with FPS in this game. Oh wow. Load my HE again. You can tell who's brand new to the waffle because they're just driving it where they should not. And come on. Nice 490 roll with the HE. I only have one HE left, so we'll see. Nice. What was that, 556, I think? So, pretty good. Hope that E4 can stay alive. Let's see if I can see the wheels on the Leopard 1 track working independently. I'm not sure if they've changed that for the non-HD tanks. I'm not really seeing any major changes. Like it's hard to see if it's actually working for the track on this vehicle because I think the springs and the suspension is so tight that it's not going to show. There we go, a little bit, but the wheels don't have any elevation change from what I can tell. They're all on a straight line, so I'm not convinced that it's been changed for the non-HD remodels. But you could definitely see it when I was in the T54. You could certainly see the wheels acting independently and reacting to the bumps in the road. Now they haven't implemented Havoc yet, so they might not have touched that. It might just be that the T54 has a much looser suspension than some of the other tanks I've tried out. But the detail on that really shows on the T54 because the tracks are so much more detailed now, and you can, everything's circular as opposed to the hexagon shape. If you look at the end of the gun barrel, it's very much more round than it was before, where it was a clear hexagon before pentagon. Come on, somebody get ammo racked, please. I want to see somebody get wrecked. Oh well. It's hard to hit that hatch with the lag. Nope, well, he doesn't have a turret anyway, so. Darn. Alright, so that pretty much showcases all of the major or significant changes in gameplay that I could find. Number one, at least several other German heavy tanks have that green scope shadow tint when you're in sniper mode. Number two, a lot of the tank models have been reworked. specifically the 3 HD remodels. So there are a lot of tanks on the battlefield where you'll be able to more easily find the weak points and more clearly see them, just because the extra detail is there. That's of course assuming that you have your graphics turned up high enough to take advantage of the high resolution textures. If you have a crap computer, you're probably still not going to be able to see it very clearly. I'm not going to show off the new tanks because they're so low in tier that they don't matter to me. But if any of you guys want to specifically request gameplay for those tanks, by all means feel free to request that in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or comments or recommendations on what I should, anything I've missed that I should cover with the 9.0 test, then please let me know. The only thing in terms of gameplay I think that you would not have seen in this video is tanks getting ammo racked and the turrets coming off. I do not believe... I'm pretty sure it's been implemented because I heard somebody saying they saw it happen yesterday. But I haven't seen it yet, so I can't confirm that or not. But that's the only thing that this video will be missing. Everything else should be included. Like I said, there aren't a whole lot of changes with the actual gameplay itself. Most of it is graphical changes to do with the maps. There are a couple of map reworks. If you need details on that, then places like the For the Record blog and developer blogs are a good source of info for that type of thing. But thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the 9.0 test.